Hello friends, my name is Miss Autumn and I'll be doing a science lesson with you today. Today we'll be learning about aerodynamics. But what is aerodynamics? Let me give you a hint. This is an airplane, right? So we must be learning about how airplanes fly. In fact, aerodynamics is the study of how air interacts with objects like airplanes and rockets. So this is going to help us learn how to make airplanes that fly really well. Imagine that you are in this airplane and you are going in this direction. In what direction will the air be hitting the airplane? If you're going this way, the air is going to be going this way, and it's going to create a force that's going to want to push the airplane back. This force is called air resistance, or as the engineers like to call it, drag. You can remember this by picturing an airplane that just wants to go forward, but the air just keeps dragging it backward. Now, have you ever noticed that at the front of the airplanes there's this pointy bit? This cone shape is very aerodynamic, and it allows the drag to be reduced, which makes the plane more stable and makes it move faster. For example, if the shape were flat at the end, the airplane would have a very hard time staying steady and going quickly because there would be so much drag. So let's do a couple of demonstrations to illustrate how the cone shape helps reduce drag in airplanes. Hi guys, we are now in the library bathroom and we're going to be using water from the faucet to represent the airflow around the tip of the airplane. So air and water are both fluids, which means that they're going to interact with the shapes similarly. We're going to start with a cube, and the cube has flat sides, so it's going to represent the airplane that has a flat front. Now I'm going to hold it under the water, and you can see that the water goes all around it, it goes everywhere, okay, and it's creating a strong force that's going to want to push the cube downward, which means it would also want to push our airplane back. That's not what we want. It's a lot of drag. So instead we're going to be using this cone shape, and we're going to hold under the faucet. And now you can see the water sort of whooshes around the cone shape, which is good. So we're reducing drag, and this is going to allow our airplane to be more stable and move more quickly. So for this demonstration, I used 3 pieces of circular paper that were the same size, and with 2 of the pieces of paper, I created these cone shapes using scissors and tape. So one of the cones is wider at the base and has more surface area when you look at it head on. This is important because this is how the air will be hitting the front of the aircraft. And then the other cone, if you can see, is pointier and has less surface area. So that will be important for later. But first, we're going to start out with the regular circle. So I'm going to drop the circle, and we're going to observe how it falls. Imagine that this is the front of the plane that has a flat front. Okay, you see how it flipped around in the air? That means that this shape is not stable, it's not aerodynamic, this is not what we want. What we do want is a cone. So what do you think happens when we drop the cone? Let's see. See how it was much steadier in the air? So when it fell, the air came at it in this direction, and the tapered shape allowed the air to come up and hold it steady like this. This is very good. But how does this cone compare to the pointier cone with less surface area? I'm going to drop them roughly from the same height. Which one do you think will go faster? Let's see. Okay, as you can see, the much pointier cone traveled faster, and that's because there is less surface area for the air to interact with. So it's still stable thanks to this cone shape, but the air is able to whoosh around it quicker, meaning that this is able to move much faster. All right, friends, we just learned how to reduce drag with the cone shape at the end of the airplane, and we learned that the cone with less surface area has significantly less drag and moves faster. Now, I would like to give a quiz for those of you at home. I'm going to show you 2 different aircraft. I want you to guess which one moves faster. The first one is the Cessna 172, and the second one is the F-104 Starfighter. Now have a look at the fronts of each of these airplanes and guess which one is quicker. If you guess this one, the F-104 Starfighter, you are correct. Notice the very pointed tip at the end of it. This is very aerodynamic, and it might just take your eye out. And this allows the airplane to move very, very, very quickly. In fact, this airplane is designed to go supersonic, which means it can break the speed of sound. Isn't that really cool? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this lesson about aerodynamics and drag. Think about this next time you see an airplane flying through the air. or when you're making paper airplanes at home. Thank you.